Kingdoms of Europe trembled before these invaders. The Norsemen knew no mercy, leaving behind blood and ashes wherever they landed. They believed the entire world was easy prey. This arrogance would ultimately lead to their doom.
In the year 844 AD, a sight never before seen in the south appeared on the horizon. A massive fleet of dragon-headed longships, 80 or more, slicing through the dark seas, carrying cold death from... After skimming the coasts of Lisbon, their chieftains decided to push deeper. Al-Andalus, the jewel of the Islamic world at that time, shone in their minds as a vast treasure waiting to be looted. They did not realize they were sailing towards an abyss. They slithered like serpents through the mouth of the great Guadalquivir River. The fertile, quiet Andalusian lands on the banks were deceptively peaceful. There was not enough early warning. The calm before the storm prevailed. Their vanguard reached the outskirts of Seville, the metropolis of western Andalusia. Fatalistically, the city at that time, despite its grandeur, had no formidable defensive walls protecting it from the riverside. It was completely exposed to the coming deluge. In an instant, tranquility turned into a nightmare. Hundreds of fierce warriors, whom Islamic sources called the Majus, Vikings, leapt from their ships. Armed with heavy axes and iron armor, their war cries filled the horizon. They swept through the streets of Seville like a flash flood. The small city garrison could not withstand this sudden assault. Killing and looting spread into every alley, and chaos and panic gripped the peaceful inhabitants fleeing for their lives. Their brutality reached its peak when they stormed the Grand Mosque in the heart of the city. They respected no sanctity, attacking even unarmed elders sheltering in the house of God, a tragic scene bitterly recorded by historical sources. Not content with looting and bloodshed, they set fire to parts of the mosque and the ancient city districts. Plumes of black smoke rose into the clear Andalusian sky, marking a deep wound in the pride of the Umayyad state. After bloody days of plunder, the invaders settled in the area of Tablada near the city. They piled up loot and captives, resting with fatal confidence, thinking Andalusia had knelt before them like the northern kingdoms. They did not know the response was coming. But the news reached Cordoba, to the astute Umayyad Emir Abd al-Rahman II. He did not lose his nerve, nor did he negotiate tribute like others. Realizing a hasty, direct confrontation was suicide, he decided to use reason and strategy before the sword. The emir immediately mobilized his top commanders, led by the seasoned chamberlain Isa ibn Shahid. The regular Islamic armies moved from Cordoba and elsewhere with silence and extreme caution, taking strategic commanding positions on the heights surrounding Seville. The tight Islamic plan relied on luring the Vikings out of their fortified camp. Some of their companies were allowed to venture far from their ships into open plains, burdened with loot, oblivious to the eyes watching them, waiting for the right moment. At the decisive moment, the light Andalusian cavalry swooped down like birds of prey from their ambushes. The surprise was complete and shocking. The Viking ranks, unused to this type of fast, organized attack in their previous battles, were thrown into confusion.
It was an epic battle between two different fighting styles, the brute force of heavy Scandinavian axes against the agility and speed of Arabian swords and organized military tactics. The tide of battle began to turn in favor of the defenders of the land. In the decisive Battle of Tablada, the Islamic army tightened the siege from all sides on the main Viking forces. They were completely isolated from the rest of their troops. The arrogant attackers turned into the besieged, fighting desperately for survival. To complete the defeat plan, special units attacked the Viking ships anchored in the river with torches and fire arrows. Flames consumed their only means of escape. The invaders realized they were trapped between the sword, fire, and water.
Panic and terror gripped the hearts of those who had terrified the world for years. They threw down their weapons and loot, fleeing aimlessly in disorder towards the river, where they met either Muslim swords or drowning in the waters of the Guadalquivir. The battle ended in a crushing, decisive Islamic victory. Sources record that over 500 of their elite warriors were killed, hundreds captured, and 30 ships destroyed. It was a historical shock for the Vikings, a harsh lesson that the south was not like the north. Andalusia also learned the lesson. Emir Abd al-Rahman II immediately ordered the construction of the Great Wall of Seville and its fortification, and the creation of the first permanent, organized Islamic naval fleet in the Atlantic Ocean to protect Muslim frontiers from any future threat.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our next upload.